guys, welcome back to Codemaster Coach, your medical coding tutor. Well, as promised, we're continuing our studies of the ICD-10-CM coding guidelines. And remember, in my previous video, I said that these guidelines are the rules to coding. No matter what handbook, code book, whatever you pick up, these are your rules to coding. In my previous video, I showed you where to find the coding guidelines. So if you have not yet had a chance to view that, go back to my previous video talking about starting the coding guidelines 2019. And I also said we will be picking up the 2019 coding guidelines where we stopped with the 2018 coding guidelines, because the information that we started there and as far as we've gotten has not changed in the 2019 coding guidelines. So go back if you haven't been following my series and start with the beginning of the 2018 coding guidelines and get caught up, because today we are moving forward. We are in the coding guidelines at 1B10, talking about a sequela. Sequela, late effects. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. First, let me start by defining sequela, S-E-Q-U-E-L-A. S-E-Q-U-E-L-A. And it is a condition which is the consequence of a previous disease or injury. This is a result of a previous condition. Sequela. Looking at your guidelines. Your guidelines state, we're at 1B10, sequela. A sequela is the residual effect, and it says here, condition produced after the acute phase of an illness or injury has terminated. There is no time limit, and remember that, guys, there is no time limit on when a sequela code can be used. The residual may be apparent early, such as a cerebral infarction, or it may occur months or years later, such as that due to a previous injury. Examples of sequela include scar formation resulting from a burn, deviated nasal septum due to a nasal fracture, or infertility due to tubal occlusion from old tuberculosis. Coding of sequelas generally require two codes, sequenced in the following order. The condition or nature of the sequela is sequenced first, and then the sequela code is sequenced second. Now, there is an exception to the above guidelines, or those instances where the code for the sequela is followed by a manifestation code identified in your tabular list, and title or the sequela code has been expanded at the 4th, 5th, or 6th character level to include the manifestation. The code for the acute phase of an illness or injury that led to the sequela is never used with the code for the late effect. All right, Codemaster Coach, put it in your terms. Okay, so what we're saying here is you have a sequela, you have a condition today that is the result of a previous condition. So when you code your condition today that they're coming in for, whatever it is they're coming in for today, whether it's a scar, a keloid, they're the same thing, hemiparesis, dysphagia, whatever complication that they're having today that was a result of a previous injury, then code that condition today in its acute phase, but don't code what it was they had before at an acute phase, because they no longer have that. So it would be a late effect condition. So in order to code that, you'd look under late effect. But the key or the first listed condition is that condition which they're coming in today for. All right, let me show you some examples that I've prepared. First one says, hemiplegia due to a previous cerebrovascular accident. So today they have hemiplegia, but it's because of a previous CVA that they had. Okay? Had they not had the stroke, they wouldn't have hemiplegia today. 2. Scoliosis due to old infantile paralysis. Had they not had that infantile paralysis, then today they wouldn't have scoliosis. Okay? And you code that condition today as an acute condition and late effect of the old. Third one, keloid, secondary to an injury 9 months ago. So today they're coming in for keloid. That'd be your first listed condition, and you do the late effect of the injury, if you knew what it was. And on the last one, mental retardation today due to a previous viral encephalopathy. You do late effect of the viral encephalopathy, but today that first condition that they're coming in today for is mental retardation. So again, guys, that's what this is telling us here at B in your coding guidelines 1B10, sequela or late effects. Whatever they're coming in today for is your acute first listed condition. And if they identify what caused it, that would be an additional code that you would add. And I remember talking about this in one of my previous videos. If you will look back, I wrote it down. It's my video already on my channel called Late Effects. It's video number 20. So between this video and video number 20, hopefully this whole concept that's covered here at 10 on sequela, late effects, will begin to make sense. But you're just coding a condition today that is a result of a previous condition, and you're making your codes state that. Today they have this because of a late effect. And if you look up the term late, look under the main term late, and effect will be in a non-essential modifier right beside it. You'll find that condition underneath there. That's how you would code a previous condition that they no longer have today. So that late effect or that sequela, you're identifying the fact they don't have that today, but because of that, today they have this. All right, guys, hope that makes sense. See you in the next one.